Once again, welcome to Merosadhana Ayus, to our monthly meeting. So we have three times internet meeting in Zoom, and then once a month you come here, okay, to practice,
I think 2 months.
To learn new techniques of meditation, and also to have a presential meeting. So how's life with you?
It's good. Yesterday I went to zoo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I went alone, and then it was kind of raining as well. And I also bought a flute yesterday, and I started learning it, playing around it.
Okay, maybe later you show me the flute.
Yeah.
Can you play flute also? A little bit.
Yeah.
All Nepali play something, no? Little guitar.
No,
little
it is.
flute.
I think I had because I had the knowledge of music somehow, so it is a bit easy to learn. So I could play around a bit.
Okay, let's start with our class here. I would like to share with you a very short quote of Osho when he is speaking about dreaming. Dreaming on the sense of, I would say, always related to religion. No? And why I choose this quote today? Because yesterday I got a video from a friend in Spain, and it was very interesting. The story is about 20 years ago in Spain, Granada, where I used to live in Granada. In a little village of Granada, out of the blue, the Tibetan lamas from Dharamsala, they found that the reincarnation of Lama Jisi, one of those famous lamas, have decided to reincarnate in the West. And this is something unique. Never before lamas incarnating America, Spain, and things like that, but they always keep in Tibet. And then they went there to pick up the baby, to give the baby, to bring it to India, and to give him the education, no? A strict education to become a lama. No? So they did that, and it was a big news. I remember, 20 years ago. Wow, in Spain, a Spanish lama, they call him a Spanish lama. So the name of the baby was Josele. It's something like Jose. Josele, no? So the story is like disappeared, no? That news was there 20 years ago, and unless you were a Buddhist, you don't know nothing about him. So I simply forgot about him. And then yesterday, out of the blue, I know the story. So, and the story is that the boy now is 20 years old, and he is making an interview with a woman. Unfortunately in Spanish, I cannot share with you. And I was totally delighted to listen to him, because the guys say, it was terrible, it was completely terrible. I dropped it. So I was fighting since I was 6. I come back home, please let me with my mother, I want to go back home, blah, blah, blah. He explained his experience in the monastery. He has to study 16 hours per day with 7 teachers. So he was crushed completely in his childhood, learning, studying, and then when he became 12, he became very rebel, and he was finding the way to get, please, if you want me to be a Buddhist teacher for the West, I need to know the West. Please allow me 3 months per year to go to a Spanish school to know the Western people. Because you are training me as a Tibetan, and then I will go to Spain or to teach Buddhism, and I don't know the people. So the great lamas, they say, wow, it's very reasonable. Allow him to go to Spain. Oh. He go to Spain, and then he go to disco, and then he go crazy to Ibiza. Ibiza is one of the most crazy places in Spain where hippies, no? And then he said it was unbearable to come back, but he said, well, I have 2 years because legally the parents gave the responsibility to the monastery. And when he is 18 years old, he has the right to drop it. And he say, "Fuck, the 2 long years of my life waiting for this help." When he was 18, he said to the monastery, "Bye-bye." And he just is now in Spain with a big beard. And he is like, the way he talks is like he say, "Fuck the monastery," And I say, Osho, Osho, everything that Osho was talking about, religious conditioning and all these things, you can feel in the face of this young man. Of course, he may feel still some respect for the teacher who taught him in childhood and all the things, but he was continuously repeating, it was a torture. You cannot separate a child from his mother. See, this is a crime. You cannot take a baby. He was 14 years old. In all the story of Buddhism, they come and they start making tests if this is reincarnation of that Lama and blah, blah, blah. But he is today this kind of rebel that shows something about religious conditioning. There's a lot of movie stuff, a lot of dreaming, a lot of projections and things like that. And maybe this story proves that this guy don't want even to be Jesse Lama. He will be a real Jesse Lama or whatsoever, he will comply and accept the whole, the whole conditioning. But unfortunately, the interview is in Spanish. I don't know if I can find it in English. I will share with you. But this quote, I just choose it because of that interview, because it shows something of how the mind provides you through dreaming what you cannot get in normal life. For example, Osho will talk about if you fast because you are in a certain kind of religious movie, yogi or whatever. Then he say, okay, during the day you may fast and be doing that, but in the night you will be dreaming with food. The same happens with sexual desires. You because you are a celibate or you are in love with God and all these things, you may not have sexual relationship, natural and healthy relationship, but you just repress, but in the night you are just dreaming sexual dreams. Like in the movie Samsara, when the Lama is having ejaculations during the night. Do you see that movie, no? No? Okay, I will send you that movie too as a lesson of meditation. Let's listen to Osho and his teaching on dreaming.
Well, one thing I was curious about you is that I had heard that you don't dream. And I'm wondering if that's true and why you don't dream, why you think you don't dream.
It is true. One has to understand why one dreams. One dreams because there are unfulfilled moments, repressed desires, things that you wanted to do but could not because of the society, because of the culture, because of the religion. Animals don't dream. Primitive people don't dream. I have come across Aboriginal tribes in India which are still living 5,000 years before. They don't dream. More a man becomes repressed, civilized, he starts repressing his nature and projecting a certain personality which is respectable. then there are dreams. Dreams are simply to help you. What you could not do in your waking hours, you can do in your sleep. They are a kind of substitute. And that's why Sigmund Freud and his school of psychoanalysis was so much interested in your dreams. They were not interested at all what you think in the day. That is all hypocrisy. What they were interested was what you dream in the night, because that will give them the clue of the true person. But a Sigmund Freud will be absolutely amazed if he meets me, because I never leave anything incomplete. I do only what I want to do, irrespective of any consequences. I don't care about respectability. I don't care about what others think of me. I simply live my life. And because I live so intensely and totally, that there is nothing residue that can create the dreams. Dreams are your unlived life. You can try a simple experiment, one day fast, and in the night you will have dreams of eating good, very delicious food. Fasting created a dream about food. In the day, repress your sexual desire, and in the night you will have a sexual dream. Freud's interest was very correct. To know about you exactly, your dreams have to be known. Once your dreams are known, then you can be helped to become more natural, less repressive. And what are the points in your life where you have been denying yourself, sacrificing yourself, either in the name of the country or in the name of religion? I have never sacrificed anything. I have never done anything against myself. Whatever I want to say, I say. Whatever I want to do, I do. I have never followed anybody. I have never taken anybody's advice. I have lived a very innocent, primitive, simple life. And that's why there are no dreams.
Beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
Very, very short. That is why the people who really have this experience, no, of suffering are the only one who understand Osho. Because if you didn't really suffer to 99 degrees, 100 degrees, I think you cannot understand Osho. If your life is compromised to be in lukewarm comfort zone, Osho seems to be, he's dangerous, no? Or if your life is a little bit more warm or something, you are searching, you are Buddhist, you are, I don't know, yogi maybe, you know? Then also you don't, okay, it's interesting, but you have to really have the experience of, like we said in Spanish, no, to eat shit. to be to that limit in life when you say either I commit suicide or I change. No? And normally all my friends and people I know for years who have understood Osho, understood with love, with resonance, or you can call it devotion, but it's not the right word either. It's like with synchronicity. No? Are the people who, in their own experience, see that what he's saying is correct. It's not the follower, no? It's not that you follow someone blindly or something, but it looks like, wow, finally someone said the truth. So, what do you think about this, what you just listened now?
Yeah, I think dream is something showing something about the subconscious mind, and maybe it is not that obvious, I think, from my experience, because I get weird kind of dreams, and maybe it is also because I have not given much care about that. Maybe that is, but if I analyze it, then maybe we can find the same pattern of the things that I have repressed.
For example, which things you dream sometimes that are related to repression?
Yeah, that I don't think I can pinpoint that, because I get weird kind of dreams. For example, recent dream, let's talk about. I saw a dream where I was in an exam hall, and I don't know if I was the invigilator, the one who guard, or the one actually giving the exams, but I was there trying to stop everyone from cheating. Yeah,
That's great.
I don't know what this means, but that was.
I can help you.
Yeah, that is a dream that I saw, and it's kind of vague, right? How do you connect?
Yeah, but this already has an amazing meaning.
Okay.
You didn't catch it?
It's kind of vague. In some ways I think I got it, but I'm not sure.
If your meditation will go deeper and deeper, you will be more able to understand those messages from the unconscious.
Yeah.
So maybe because I was there in experience, I immediately catch it now when you say that, because you have, you are here for 1 year now, no?
Yeah.
No, 9 months.
Almost.
In November will be 1 year. Okay, 9 months. So in those 9 months, you have been absorbing a new information that goes against your conditioning, culture, country, religion. And some of them you may accept, some of them are very difficult to digest.
Yeah.
Especially the issue that your work, it takes a lot of energy, makes you tired, you feel frustrated.
Yeah.
And you are trying to find a way how to do a new profession, a new job, no?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that in Nepal, normally 90% of the people are involved in jobs, office job, corporative job. No? Everybody I ask on the street is computer studies, working in office, I would like sometimes someone who say, I am just a shopkeeper or something, but the most of the time the people are in this kind of...
The educated ones at least. Yeah.
They are educated. So in this kind of professional life, exam is very common. No? It's a pattern of, if you want to get a better job, you have to make an exam for the better job. If you want to become a boss, you have to do exams to become a boss, etc. And in that dream, I have the feeling that you are the one who are trying to avoid people to copy.
Yeah.
Because in your unconscious, there is a very strong conditioning that don't allow you to move out of the pattern. You should be an office slave, saying yes sir, your whole life, you know. It doesn't matter if you are crushed energetically, in your freedom, in your joy. It doesn't matter if you lost joy, creativity. You say you buy the fruit today. So inside you there is another one who searches for Osho's way, you know? Creativity, freedom. Which is my job, my real job. You know? I don't know yet, but the job I'm doing makes me feel frustrated, tired, and heavy. You know? So that dream also shows that your conditioning is trying to keep you in your chair, no? In your office.
So the one that is trying to stop everyone from cheating, that is the guy.
Well,
that is.
I have the feeling that this is you, because you may have.
It is trying to make other obedient.
Yeah. You have been disobedient in your 10% of awake mind. When you are awake, 10% of your conscious mind is thinking about, I'm fucking obedient. I would like to be disobedient once and then comes the dream and say, you don't be disobedient. You do the exam, don't copy, no? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is how Western psychology works, no? Western psychology, but it is very superficial, no?
Limited.
Meditation works much deeper, and especially Osho's methods of meditation. Because, for example, yoga, Buddhism, they are following very ancient techniques that are very good, which you can consider pranayama spiritual, you can consider yoga asanas. All these things are very, very good for the body, no? But what I see in the yogis is no evolution at all. They are fanatic or they are repressed. No, but with Osho, you move more into a very deeper psychology. No? For example, if I meet here with a yogi, a Buddhist, a Christian, even friends, no, but they are like this, no? And I speak like this, they will say, no, I'm very happy being a Buddhist, my technique is very good, blah, blah, blah. The yogi will say, no, my asanas, my pranayama keep me free from sex and all these things. So they will not accept Osho's teachings. No? They will say, I'm not repressed. Because they don't remember the dream, maybe. Or if they have dreams like that, they don't want to accept. They keep. Because it is difficult to recognize that I am a celibate, but in the night I'm always dreaming about girls. No? But what does Osho? That's very interesting. No? Osho teaches you this in a way of, let's say, teaching information. No? But in the practice, in Pune, when I was there, in the practice, the Buddhist guy comes, the yogi guy comes from India, the repressed Christian comes, and they are there listening to Osho. Oh, it's very interesting to be here. Okay, let's do a therapy group. And in the therapy groups, there are 30 women, 30 men. And then the therapist will say, okay, everybody get naked. You hug a woman. Wow! The yogi will immediately see his repression because his body will show, I cannot control anymore. The 10% of the protective mind is totally cow. Knock it. At that moment, the real truth surfaces. The yogi will start even raping the girl if she's a blonde Western. The Hindu will run and leave the group. And the Christian will start praying, oh, God, Jesus, save me from this heavy sin happening here in this place. This is a orgy, this is a very dangerous place, etc. So Osho is amazing because it's a mirror. So you may say through your 10%, oh, my yoga is keeping me free from sex. Yeah, go with a woman, beautiful woman, sexy woman, naked, watch, whoa, all your repression will explode. You cannot control it in that situation. That is Osho spiritual psychotherapy. It puts you in situations where you have to see what is in your unconscious. I don't know if you see the point.
Yeah.
And that's happened in normal life for people who are not doing spiritual psychotherapy. Friday night, you are a perfect Nepali. You go to your office, yes sir, yes sir. You are a perfect Hindu. You are eating a yogi. You go to Nagarkot with friends and start drinking. Someone give you a ganga and blah 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 and that. You in these moments of drunkenness, when you are drunk, you are unconscious. Wow, the unconscious surface. And what is there? Madness, sexual repression. You may, at that time, if there is a woman available, you go to prostitute. If a prostitute is available at that night with alcohol in you go and you pay for her. Monday morning or Tuesday morning, you will never do that. Because your 10% of conscious mind is controlling.
Yeah.
So, this is for me modern religion. So the traditional religions that have all these wonderful techniques from 5,000 years ago, Patanjali and blah 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 and all you think, okay, they are tools, you can use it for your good, but modern religion is more concerning your unconscious mind and your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is fake. It's your personality.
Yeah.
And your unconscious mind is more true than your conscious mind, but still is not true because it's just repression, past accumulation of repression instinct. So who are you? The new consciousness that will watch all that. And you become aware that, wow, I'm becoming aware that I am repressed. I'm becoming aware that I am not a Christian. I'm becoming aware that many things have happened in the past. Becoming aware of the witness, the consciousness. But it is very easy to cling to one of those religions. You know? Hindu is very attractive because it contains meditation, but it contains a lot of
Devotion.
And devotion is also beautiful, but it has to be real. You know,
a lot of traditions.
Concerning religion, you have to be always respectful to everybody who is practicing whatever. No? But I'm sharing you my experience of 36 years of being in India and being in places like Dharamsala, Pune, all these cities, very famous cities of yogis and things like that. And when you see the sadhus, the yogis, for me they are very not interesting people. I mean, maybe in 20 years I was there, I met maybe one yogi who seems to be a researcher. They were a lot of in the ego, very beautiful. And then they were chasing women, Western women. For them, they are like a very attractive, sweet object, no? Precisely because they are repressing. But that, when you talk to them, they will tell to you, sex is bad, don't touch it. But then in their life, this is full of a lot of sexual abuse and, and you can feel that in the eyes of people. Or they are too much in the body, too much beautiful, too much also giving classes of yoga, money, all kinds of stuff. So to find a real, even Osho got corrupted, such a master, in his community got into corruption and things like that. So at the end, a spiritual search, you have to be alone. So you go through many experiences of years and years and years and years. And for 3 years you may be part of that group, for many years being part of that group. But for me, a researcher is the one who at the end simply says, alone. Thank you to that master when I was 20, thank you to that master between my 30s and 40s, thank you to this master between my 50s and 60s. Hello. And out of your aloneness also you follow your own inner light. For that you may need time. And a lot of frustration, a lot of crashing, a lot of, you know. In Spanish we say, if you cannot learn through understanding, you have to learn through suffering. So suffering at the end is the best teacher you can have. And for sometimes in different periods of your life, that teacher is amazing. But 20 years later, that teacher is totally useless. You know? And then in the other period of life, you are getting what you need to grow in different stages of your life. In my case, for example, it's very interesting now that 2 days ago I got 65, now I'm 65. And I have been here in this ashram with Baba for almost 9 years. I came in 2014. And it has been very, very, very good. But now I'm even thinking to move and to help kids in an orphanage in Sundari Jal. And for me, it's another step of my spiritual growth. Because I have been here learning beautiful things I was needing to learn. But the cycle is finished. Even though I will keep in contact with the place and other things, but at the end, it's like if I cannot see God in the eyes of a kid also who is needy, who didn't have a father, a kid who has parents alcoholic or in drugs, or if I cannot see God in the eyes of a woman, what is the point of doing yoga the whole life and doing exercises and kriya, yoga, pranayama? These things are very, very good, but if those things don't reach you to that understanding that only love is the ending station of your trip in train. If you cannot love, okay, you keep doing pranayama your whole life, keep doing yoga your whole life. If you cannot love a woman, if you cannot love a needy child, if you cannot love at the street the dog who comes to you hungry, you don't have compassion to spend 10 rupees for biscuits for the dog, how can you pretend to be spiritual? Because you have some knowledge? Because you blah blah blah? At the end, my conclusion personally is that in life, in spiritual life, you may learn for like this Lama, Spanish Lama, like Krishnamurti. Also, Krishnamurti has a very similar life, like the Lama, Spanish Lama. Learning. So teachers, the world teacher Krishnamurti, or the Western teacher of Buddhism, Lama Hosele, blah blah blah. At the end, all this knowledge is just bullshit. If you cannot simply feel resonance, compassion, and love to people who are there at the street, then for me everything is the criterion that makes you feel, okay, I got the point, isn't that? But maybe to get that point you need 40 or 50 years of doing techniques, learning, following. You know what I mean? I'm very grateful to the three spiritual movements I belonged to in my youth. When I was in my 20s, I was practicing yoga for 5 years. I became vegetarian and I learned how to cook vegetarian food. Today, after 50 years, the only thing that remains is vegetarian food. Everything I learned there was bullshit. Hierarchy, different grades of yoga, ego trips. I forgot it completely. Only vegetarian food. Thank you. So I feel grateful to that group. The Grace Fraternity, Universal Fraternity was called, in Spain. Then Osho Community International. Wow. For 20 years I learned so much with them, but The master died and everything got
Collapsed.
collapsed. Okay, thank you. I'm not more part of that community. But what remains? And now in my last 10 years here, I learned a lot. I learned from the people, I learned from the cow, I learned from the only thing that remains, my love for Bob. My respect and gratefulness for this man. The community, forgot it. You know? And what is now here? This orphanage in Sundarijan. It's such an opportunity to teach them music. Yesterday I was there and I was teaching them Kundalini. And the kids were crazy. You know, kids who didn't have parents, or parents alcoholic, or parents who, you know, there's a kid with a strong mark here, like he was hit.
Oh.
A girl, 5 years old. And you start teaching them Kundalini, wow, and they start doing with
Enthusiasm.
They have such a trauma inside. Now imagine those kids who have been abandoned.
Yeah.
And then a very good man called Ram Hari makes that project, and people come to help from Spain and volunteers and things. And those kids now, they have a future. They have a home, you know, they have a future. And you see the need for them to meditate.
Yeah.
They are 5, 7 years old and they connect with Kundalini so strong. So the need is there of releasing the trauma. Can you understand?
Yeah.
So I feel like if I have something to do with them, I need it. And this is one of the biggest needs of human being, to be needed. If you are ignored, if you are useless, you feel like a flower without water, you get dry, you know. So in this moment, you know, after these 3 amazing spiritual groups in my life, in my 20s, in my 40s, and now with Baba, it looks like the only thing that has a meaning is these kids. Anything like yoga, Osho, commune, all these things that I learned for 60 years, ABC. A, B, C, D, you know, you need the alphabet to move in society, no?
Yeah.
Nothing. Alphabet. And at the end, it's like if you cannot love, anything is bogus. What do you see when you listen this sharing and Osho's teaching? What do you see in your life concerning?
That I am still to take some step. And
Well, you are also very young, no?
yeah.
I was in my 20s 45 years ago. You are now in your 20s, no? So you are very young.
Yeah, it's definitely is kind of inspiration to take a jump. I think for you it is a kind of jump.
But I have observed you have a very strong rebellious spirit inside you from childhood.
Yeah.
You were a rebellious child. And where is this child? This is your spiritual task.
Yeah.
Forget about yoga. I mean, meditation can be a help, but your real search is, where is my rebellious child? He will guide you into the next step. Right?
Yeah. Maybe these things, if I analyze the dreams as well, maybe it will. Maybe I'll understand actually what the soul wants, and then I can take a jump when the time will come.
So what are you doing lately to be more free, to be more free, besides buying a flute?
Yeah. In office, I have started going into the office these days, and these days I have planned to get out of my working table, talk with other people, go out. So I have this way of being slightly, practicing less obedience kind of thing. And I've said that to other friends as well, because staying in the computer always is not good, not just for you but also for the company, because we are kind of weakening our brains as well, and we cannot perform well as well. So yeah, I've been practicing that kind of
Rebelliousness.
rebelliousness, yeah, but moderate kind of, not there, yeah.
Well, as long as they don't catch you.
Yeah.
The job, the salary is from. I have told you many times in the last classes. A salary, if you analyze what is the salary in your job today, it is the projection of the good records at the school. No, in a certain sense, it's like to be approved. No, it's like the educational system is a machinery to kill the inner child and make you the robot. So it takes 15 years of time. It's not something that the child is not destroyed in 1 month. The child is destroyed in 15, 16 years of repetition, no?
Yeah.
Conditioning. But at the end, it is like obedience, being accepted. They like me. That is why the New World Order control is based on all these things like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. How many likes I have? It's like people has put. I mean, when I see young people doing that, for me it's difficult to understand that a picture of you that you post in Facebook, even there are software who can make that picture very beautiful, remove your acne and things like that. It becomes the most important thing in the life of a young person.
Yeah.
How many likes of people will be posted on that picture?
Yeah.
And reactions of kids that have committed suicide because no like are given to them, for example, or bad critics or bad commentaries and things like that. That shows the level of control that the cabal, this elite, has on society. That's why they created Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. They are simply tools to recollect data from you, how you think, what you consume, what you like, and blah blah blah. And the humanity is sucked into that subliminal mechanism of control. So that before that, because we can say that 20 years ago there was no internet, you were not born. But I was 40, I have experienced life as it was before the internet. So if I want to phone you, I have to go to a booth on the street, put a few rupees and phone. It was wonderful. It was a paradise compared to the madness. Okay, today is very easy. I take the phone and any question, how many inhabitants has Japan? I go to saying Google. And saying Google will give you the answer correctly. Of course, Buddha, Krishna, no one will answer. St. Peter, neither. The real saints of today is Google, Wikimedia, and YouTube. They give you the answer immediately, This is 20 years back. It was not there. 20 years back, if I want to know how many inhabitants has Tokyo in Japan, I have to go to the library, and I have to start searching in books. So on one hand, you can say, wow, it is a great advance for humanity. Wow, no. This was given to us for free to collect your data. Who are you? What do you like? Now that they have the data of all of us, they can control us with all these techniques.
Yeah.
And then you vote for the crop. You vote for the globalist politicians who are imposing that agenda. All control. So either humanity meditates and becomes aware, or people are more enslaved than when the black were enslaved in North America. You know what I mean? It's called like a subliminal virtual slavery. It's much dangerous than when someone put force into you and policemen. They don't need police anymore.
Yeah.
They control you with Facebook.
And bank accounts.
Account and everything. So maybe to finish, would you like to play a little bit your flute?
I'll try.
Yeah. So to see the child in the child.
So I don't know exactly, but
Wonderful.
learning still.
Great.
Yeah.
But when I see, for me it's impossible. I cannot get the sound in the flute. But
Yeah.
these kind of instruments are very good to control your breath.
Yeah, yeah.
It becomes like a pranayama for you if you do it as a pranayama exercise.
Something like that.
Great. How many flutes you have?
Just one.
Great. Okay, Ayus.
Yeah.
This is your first flute. You will collect many of them.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good that you practice music. Also, flute is related to. You know that Osho was a flute player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing because people don't know that about Osho. But the truth is that even today there is the most famous raga flute player of India is Hariprasad Chaurasia. He's over 90, 97 or something. Maybe he's still alive. And he was a very good friend of Osho when he was 15 years old, 12, 15 years old. And both were friends, and both were flutists. And Hariprasad Chaurasia, already as a man 60, 70 years old, he has given an interview when he was asked, "Do you met Osho?" And he said, "Yes, he was my very good friend in childhood." And he said, Osho was a great flute player. And it's a pity that he stopped the flute because he became a master. No? But he said he has an amazing talent to be a flute player. That is why all Osho meditations, Osho was a musician, no? Are based on music.
Yeah.
Kundalini and Brahma. So he conducted his disciples to do a certain kind of music. A flute, the drum. So all the music of Kundalini was actually composed by Osho. Dynamic, but played by his disciple. But his disciple didn't create the music. The music was created by Osho. Hence, those meditations has an amazing impact on the people. Also, the structure, according what he did, no, you have to move the body to catharsis, and then you see it. Even 60 years later, after composing those meditations, those music are everywhere. No? Even the CDs are still being sold of Kundalini, Brahma, Dynamic,
Yeah.
Nataraj.
Yeah.
So Osho was a flute player.
Yeah, you had told me once. Yeah, I remember.
The pity is that there is no recording how he played because
Oh, yeah.
he stopped the flute. When he got enlightened at 21,
Hmm.
he stopped it. So imagine, it was in the 50s.
Mhm.
So very difficult to get a recording of his voice was starting recorded in 62. The first discourse of Osho was I Am That, recorded in Bombay in 62. And after that, till he died, so thousands and thousands of discourses recorded in audio. But the first one was in 62. 5 minutes he taught English, 5 minutes Hindi.
Hmm.
He tried to do that and then he dropped it. It's impossible. Then he started speaking Hindi 8:30 in the morning and 6:30 p.m. in the evening in English. But the beginning of his talk was I Am That in 62. 5 minutes English, 5 minutes Hindi.
So the same translation.
No, before that he was talking to friends in friend houses in the 50s back, but there was no recording.
Oh, yeah.
He was like a spontaneous meetings. No?
Hmm.
But once he started settling in Bombay, Juhu Beach, in the apartment, he started recording his work. And then Pune 1 and blah, blah, blah. The first one was the series of discourse, I Am That. And you can listen him talking Hindi, 5 minutes, and then the same English.
Oh.
But he said it was too much for his mind, he could not do it. Okay, flute player. So, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
And let's move now into meditation. Okay?
Yes.
Bye-bye.